brutal way to lose. There are many times for me, maybe it's just an opinion, I would rather get blown out. I would have rather look like Tennessee today and get blown out by Georgia than this. Now, the good thing is, guys, in really 2 games, okay, you have gone toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country. You had the ability with a young team in 2 games back-to-back to win it. But you went cold at the plate. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing you can say about tonight, the dudes on the mound. Yeah, sure, you can talk about Holman a little bit. That's fine. But as a holistic unit, from top to bottom, from what Griffin Herring gave you, and quite honestly, guys, I mean, Braswell doesn't make that error there. Okay, you got a runner on second. Thatcher Hurd lives and fights another day. We're still playing right now. There's nothing that you can say, really. At least I'm not going to talk about pitching all you want in the chat. That's good. That's fine with me. I'm not going to agree with you. Guys, you gave up 3 runs in 9 innings. You got to be able to put up good enough at bats at times to get a run. You make good defensive plays. Bear Jones giving you the defense behind you. By the way, had 2 singles tonight. So all the people that are talking shit about Bear Jones, he elevated his play tonight. He wanted it. It goes to the thing we talked about last night. It's the same exact thing. I just don't know if this team, number 1, is ready for the moment, and number 2, if they can overcome adversity. I really don't know if they can right now. It is not great. You are still young in the season. You're 2-6 in conference play. 2-6 in conference play. It's not good. I mean, it just isn't. So, I don't know. I mean, LSU baseball got a commitment today by a guy and Trevor Schmidt, who has hit 12 bombs in JUCO. His uncle or dad, if I'm not mistaken, is the general manager of the Colorado Rockies. Jay's already getting dudes. Big time power bats. He doesn't have a choice. I mean, he legitimately does not have a choice, mainly due to the simple fact you cannot have innings, okay, where you have 9 guys up, 9 guys down. It cannot happen. All right. Every post-game show is brought to you by our good friends over at betonline.ag. That's betonline.ag. March Madness is still going on. The Lady Tigers play tomorrow at 12. So if you want to bet on that game, you can go over to betonline.ag for all of your March Madness needs. Go over there. Use the promo code BELIEVE50. That's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, where the game starts. Look, I know that Holman, okay, let's start off with Luke Holman. I mean, yeah, the bottom of the 4th wasn't good for him, okay, mainly due to the fact that you're up 2-0 and you give up walks. Lovich and Souza both walked in the bottom of the 4th, and then you get an RBI double by Wilmsmeyer. By the way, a 9-hole hitter. The dude in the 9-hole who's hitting above 300 right now hits an RBI double off of you. Then Stovall, the second baseman, who is hotter than, well, I'm going to leave that alone because that will people get on to me that. The hottest batter, arguably, and the hottest player right now, in Arkansas's lineup is Stovall, the second baseman. He comes up, hits a weak dribbler to short, gets an RBI, ties the game. I mean, it's about it for Holman. It's about it. I mean, that's what wrecked it for him, really. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. He wasn't terribly bad. I don't look at Luke Holman's performance. Guys, the best pitcher in the country last night, and Hagen Smith gave up 2 runs to you on 2 long balls. You're going to give up hits. You're going to give up runs. Just it's how it goes sometimes. I don't think he was bad. Griffin Herring, God bless his ever-living soul, comes in for Holman in the bottom of the 5th. So Holman had gotten issued a walk and then got a strikeout. Edmondson comes in for Lovich in a pitch hit. Griffin Herring goes 6 straight guys that he faced and struck them all out. He struck out Edmondson. He struck out White. He struck out Souza. He struck out Wilsmeyer. He struck out Stovall. He struck out McLaughlin. He allowed a single down the line to Aloy, the shortstop. He gets a single in the 6th hole, but Milam is there. And then you have the big-time play, runners on 1st and 3rd, the big-time play to pretty much get you out of the inning there with Jared Jones on the sacrifice squeeze, getting the ball to Travinski to get out the plate at home. So Griffin Herring gets in a little trouble, gets out of it because of a good defensive play. By the way, Trey Morgan did tweet back at us. Shout out to our good friend Trey. I said that play by Jared Jones that Trey Morgan would be happy and he would be smiling, and that he was. But, guys, Griffin Herring comes out in the bottom of the 8th. He looks good. He comes out in the 9th. He does give off a leadoff double, but he works right out of it. He gets a fly out in the left field, a line out in the left field, and then he gets a ground ball right back up the middle, and Braswell is there to field it and get the out. I mean, maybe you could say, why do you go to Hurd there in the 10th instead of Nate Ackenhausen? Maybe. Right? Like maybe you can say that. But, guys, Thatcher Hurd got a strikeout in the bottom of the 7th. He got a ground ball to the shortstop, which should have been 2 outs, and that double ends it because of the error. You're not ready for big-time moments. This back-to-back Saturdays, you have been in a situation on a Saturday where you could have won the game. Last week against Florida, you have some fluke-ass shit happen to you on a strikeout. It bounces off the plate. Milazzo is not able to get to it. The inning continues. Florida gets a single, and they wind up winning the game. By the way, they walked it off tonight against Mississippi State. Tonight, you are battling. And look, I love the fight from this team. I don't think it's a lack of trying. I see some takes out there saying these guys aren't giving it everything that they have. Guys, quite honestly, that's bullshit. I don't agree with you. I think they are battling. Ask Griffin Herring if he's battling. Ask Jared Jones if he's battling. Because Jared Jones had 2 line drive singles tonight. Nobody was on fucking base. Nobody. Because Tommy White, I love the aggressive style, but sometimes when you're having multiple innings, by the way, this happened 3 times tonight. You had an inning that Arkansas came out, that a pitcher had 6 pitches. The next inning, he had 11 pitches. The next inning, he had 10 pitches. Those kinds of things can't happen. I love the aggressiveness. Sometimes you need to wear on the pitcher a little bit and watch strikes. I know you don't like that, but sometimes you're going to have to break up the rhythm of the game. They are not good in the experience IQ part of the game right now. That is the take. They are not ready for big-time moments in big-time games. Because quite honestly, guys, you have competed with 2 top 5 teams in the SEC. Not even the SEC, but the nation. Guys, you catch that, Milazzo catches that ball
Last Saturday, you win the series. You win the series, okay? So you feel a little bit better about yourself going into Arkansas. There are so many different plays tonight and so many things tonight that you could have done better. Let's go to the hitting. Bingham, leadoff signal. First pitch by Tommy White in the top of the first. 5-4-3 double play. Jones strikes out looking. Bottom of the second, Travinsky would fly out to the catcher. That would be the only time that he got a hold of a ball tonight that put remotely in play, because he would strike out the next 4 times. But Ethan Fry struck out. Paxton Kling struck out. By the way, you had runners on first and third in the bottom of the second. So Pearson would walk and Fry would strike out. Braswell would come up and hit a blute single into right center field, runners on first and third, and in 4 pitches, Paxton Kling strikes out. In the top of the third, Milam, line drive single in the left field. He's kind of getting going a little bit. Bingham would line out to the third baseman. There's nothing you can do there. LSU baseball data had it coming off of the bat at 107. Guys were in the perfect spot. Nothing you can do about that. Tommy White, line drive single in the right center field. Jones would walk, bases loaded, and you have 1 out. Hayden Travinsky strikes out. Can't happen. Just cannot happen. And then Josh Pearson would come up with a 2 RBI single in the top of the third. That's the second time that Josh Pearson has had runners in scoring position and has gone the opposite way. I mean, guys, you got to be able to, especially with 2 strikes, use the entire field. He did it last night. He did it again tonight. There was a time later on in the game that he's got to get the bat off his shoulders. But, guys, he's got 4 RBIs in 2 games. He's your run producer right now, ironically. Oh, he didn't do that last night. He did that against Southeastern. Excuse me. I misspoke. Thank you, guys. I misspoke. He did that against Southeastern. He did not do that last night. That was the 2 home runs. After the top of the third, you go to the top of the fourth. You get a fly out, a line out to shortstop, and then a ground ball to second base. Braswell, Kling, and Milam saw 9 pitches. Top of the fifth, ground ball to second base by Mac Bingham. Tommy White struck out on 4 pitches. Jared Jones, line drive single, and Travinsky would strike out. The top of the 6, you had some things going. This is where you would start moving some things, but you were unable to continue and bust the game wide open. This is another part that we talk about where you got to have the ability to bust it wide open like your name is Busta Rhymes. To start the top of the 6, Josh Pearson gets hit by a pitch. Ethan Fry walks. Braswell hits an infield single. Guys, you had the bases loaded, no outs. Bases loaded and no outs. Here come 2 freshmen. Because Kling's not ready and Milam's not completely ready. Larson comes in. There's a pitching change. He gets a sac fly RBI into left field. Runner still on second and first. And then Milam, on the first pitch that he sees from a new pitcher, he grounds it into a 4 unassisted double play. Cannot happen. I mean, and not only can it not happen, here's another thing that you need to tell some of these guys. Like when a new pitcher is coming into the game and you have runners on second and first, and you got a new arm, a sinker throwing guy who throws 99 miles an hour, I'm telling Milam take till he gets 2 strikes. I'm serious, because I quite honestly don't know that if I don't want Bingham in that situation more than anything, even with 2 outs, I'm taking all the way. But you only generate a run with the bases loaded and no outs. And no outs. That cannot happen in these close games. And you can say, Blake, it's nitpicky. You're fucking right, it's nitpicky. When you lose a one-run game to lose the series to Arkansas, you're fucking right I'm going to be picky. Your ineptitude at the plate after the sixth, after you got the run to tie it, the offensive or the lack thereof intensity that you had goes unnoticed because of the simple nature. You had the big play defensively by Jones in the seventh. You come up in the eighth, you go 1, 2, 3, you get a strikeout by Travinski. Pearson grounds out the second, and Fry hits a ball right off of the pitcher's foot. It goes to Stovall, and he's able to get you out. Top of the ninth, Braswell flies out to the warning track in right field. Larson strikes out. Milam line drive. Bingham on a 3-1 count hits into a fielder's choice. Guys, that ball is low and down at the knees. There's a really good chance on that 3-1 count in the top of the ninth to Bingham that's a ball. It's borderline where when you got arguably one of the best power hitting dudes in not only your lineup but the country, that's what Dylan Cruz was so fucking good at. What made Dylan so good, it's like, look, man, if that pitch low and in, fastball low and in, the best that I'd probably do with that is just dribble it over to third like Mac Bingham did. He would take that pitch, see another one or two, foul off one. Who know? That's what makes guys like Dylan Cruz the best, because Tommy takes his own deck and no telling what he do when you have a runner that's on first, and Bingham, if he gets on, oh boy. Then you go to the top of the eighth. White grounds out to the shortstop in 2 pitches. Jones, again, singles into left field. Travinski strikes out, and Pearson strikes out. Here's the biggest thing for me at the plate. I know and will forgive some of the strikeouts last night. Went back and watched the highlight clip. Our good buddy Willows on YouTube posts the breakdowns. I will excuse some of the strikeouts. Guys, you're 30-plus strikeouts in 2 games. Not only is it not good, I know you're facing a really good staff, but they are mowing you down. They are lighting your ass up. And there's just no other way to put it. No other way to put it whatsoever. So that was the recap of the game. I'm told, and look, I even changed things up. I went back to the national championship hat, right? Like, this is the hat that we wore during the Natty run last year. I got a new notepad. I mean, we changed everything up for this team to start a win. Let me say this before we get to some of the comments here. If you want I'll say this too. If you want your comment read for 100% certainty, go to YouTube, send in a super chat. It's the best way. Actually, it's the only way for 100% certainty that your comment will be read. You can go over there and do that. All right. Last thing I will say. On Wednesday, you and I discussed, if you watched the show or you watched the clip that we posted on YouTube, I just did not have faith that this team could win 2 out of 3 against Arkansas. No faith. I don't think that they're ready. And I didn't think they're ready. I do think that you have a better chance next weekend against Vandy at home to win that series. But guys, you're on the potential of getting swept. It's just not good enough. All right. Let's get to some of these super chats. Christian Burris on YouTube sends a $199 super chat, says, we are Mississippi State now, Blake. Mississippi State's not a bad team. I get what you're saying. You know, the last 2 national title winners, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, both of them after their natty run look bad the next following seasons. Mississippi State is a runaway in extras, if I'm not mistaken, against Florida tonight to win Florida, beat Florida in game 1 on the road. They're not a bad club. I get what you're saying. I'm not there yet. Not there yet. All right. I'm going to read your super chat. I'm not putting that up here. Sorry. I know that you sent us money. But if you have that profile pic and that name, we are not doing it. G on YouTube says, Blake, unfortunately, this team is a downward spiral. 3-loss series in a row is very bad and means that they definitely won't host. I don't necessarily disagree with you if the team does not get things going. But yeah, you didn't pay me $100. You paid me $4.99. I appreciate the super chat. I'm just not going to read when you have Gina's bunghole on here with that picture. I'm not going to do it. I appreciate it. If you want me to send you your money back, I'll send you your money back. But you did not send us $100. Don't be trolling in a super chat. I'm gonna read it for you. I'm not putting your picture up there. Sorry. Dustin Brown says, so when do coaches and players start getting called to the carpet? When do players or coaches start getting held accountable? They are getting held accountable. We're holding them accountable right now. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say or do. Or, I mean, I don't, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Huey Lipsy says Braswell's shitty fielding has cost LSU games. JJ needs to shuffle the infield. I guess my question is who do you put it short? Gavin Guidry cannot play short. Sorry. Mainly due to the fact that, I mean, we've seen him even in inter squad. I mean, he's not capable of hitting. He's not capable of hitting. Here's what I'll say about Braswell. I'm not pulling Braswell. I mean, mainly due to the fact he still has a lot of experience. You would be putting a freshman there, and we've seen Jay not bail on somebody. Guys, if he's not going to bail on Jordan Thompson, he's not going to bail on Braswell. That's my opinion. Christian Burris says maybe Jay isn't as good of a hitting coach as we thought. I fully disagree with that because Alex Milazzo disagrees, Braden Joberg disagrees, Cade Beloso disagrees. I fully disagree with you there. He was blessed with super seniors and generational talents. Well, he brought in one generational talent in Paul Skeens. I disagree with you there. I mean, I don't agree with you there. And here's another thing. Jay Johnson competed for a World Series not being at LSU. See, what you can't do and what you don't need to do is come up in here and I can't go there with you, Christian. I can't go there with you. He also sends in a $199 super chat, says the Yeski hire was bad. Look at A&M staff now with a $199 super chat. He's also won 2 national titles as a pitching coach. I mean, he did not, with all due respect to Yeski, I feel with what you're saying, but there comes a part of executing. And can I be real with you, Christian? Tonight, let me say it like this. Nate Yeski and that staff put you in an ability or a chance last Saturday to win the series. A ball bounces off the plate, and Milazzo's unable to field it. It was a strikeout by Nate Ackenhausen. If you catch the ball, okay, which is still very tough, you win the series. Guys, tonight you gave up 3 runs through 9 innings. I'm not putting anything on Nate Yeskie. Not tonight, I'm not. Not tonight, I'm not. I mean, for another thing I could say, Thatcher Hurd has arguably had 2 of the best pitching coaches. Guys, Nate Yeskie is considered and probably is one of the top 5, top 3 pitching coaches in the country. Nate Yeskie was also at Texas A&M when they got to a College World Series with Schlossnagle. I think y'all. I understand what I understand. We are upset as LSU fans. I vehemently disagree with you. I'm sorry, I just do. But I do appreciate the super chats. LB7 with a 99-cent super chat. LB7, if you have a comment, put it back in there. So we can get it. I think I see it. Guys, if you come up in here with unrealistic names and you send in super chats, we're not going to read them. I'm going to read them, but I'm not putting your name up here. LB7 says, who sent in the 99-cent super chat, says, so where does LSU go from here? Do you think that Hurd stays in the bullpen? I do believe that he stays in the bullpen. Does Griffin Herring move up to Sunday spot? And then batting, do you stick with the same lineup for game 3? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't think that you can. To be real, I mean, this is what I would do. It's opinion. I preface every time when I give an opinion that Jay knows 10 times more than I do, 1,000 times more than I do, forgotten more about baseball than I ever will. I just would not right now. I know you want to get Ethan Fry in there. I understand it. He has had good at bats. You got to get Milazzo in there. He's the only one that's given you he's giving you better at bats than 2/3 of your lineup. It's time to put in Milazzo. Screw this late inning catching shit, because he's giving you better at bats than, well, I mean, we read through it earlier. Put Travinsky at DH, let Milazzo swing it a little bit, and if you want to take him out, maybe if he doesn't have a good day, you can put in Neal. Or put Travinsky there and then let somebody pitch hit for you could bring in Travinsky to catch and then put somebody in the DH spot. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. But Milazzo's giving you better at bats, unfortunately, than some. DRK with a $1 super chat. Thank you, DRK. Alex Cormier with a 99-cent super chat. Guys, if you have comments, you can put them in here. We'll try to get to them. DRK, though, says, well, would you rather have Matt Hobbs or Nate Yeskie? Also, is the plate discipline the main issue or lack of command after 40-plus pitches? I don't mind Hobbs, or I don't mind Yeskie, really. I mean, quite frankly, I mean, guys, let's say, let me tell you what we're saying right now, okay? Let me tell you what the way that I'm hearing it. The way that I feel about it and the way that I'm hearing it is this. Imagine if there's an offensive coordinator in football that's called plays and won multiple national titles. Just stay with me for a minute. Imagine it, or in this case, imagine a DC. And he's called plays at multiple places and won national titles. And we think that it's him. Here is the truth. If you want me to say it, it's not Yeskie. It's your personnel. It's not Nate Yeskie. It's your personnel. That's my opinion. And by the way, here's something that's absolutely just blows my mind about this Yeski thing. What do you say about Griffin Herring? It's not what you're doing on the mound a lot of times. Now, there are times where you're getting rocked. Like last night, Gavin Guidry coming in, leaving a hanger at the belt against Diggs. It gets blasted. But the problem, though, was, and all of that's not all on Gavin Guidry either. It is on Gavin Guidry. I went back and watched it. Travinci set up on the outer third half of the plate. He missed a spot. It's not on Yeski. He's calling a fastball out and away. He misses a spot so bad, guys. It goes from the outside part of the plate to the inside part of the plate. It got blasted 400 fucking feet. Well, I mean, Griffin Herring comes in. We want to blame Yeski in the pitching. It ain't the pitching. You're not hitting. And not only you're not hitting, you don't have the ability to take over a game when adversity hits. I'm just being honest. For example, when you went up 2-0 today, okay, so you go up 2-0, and this isn't on everybody. You go up 2-0. Top of the third, Pearson gets a 2 RBI single. You're up 2-0. What does Luke Holman do? Gives up a bloop single, fielder's choice, comes down to the bottom of the fourth, gives up 2 walks. I tweeted this too. I was like, by the way, those walks are going to kill him. Top of the third, bottom of the third. He gives up a walk. He's got a bloop single, runners on first and second, gets a strikeout, fly out, and then fielder's choice. Tweeted, hey, if he keeps walking that leadoff guy, it's going to bite him in the ass. He walks 2 of the first 3. Lovich and Souza walked. He gives up an RBI double, gives up another RBI double, and the ball game's tied. That's it. So you were up 2-0 and you couldn't start shutting them down. You created your own chaos. All right. Eric, with a $10 super chat, says LSU probably will lose 20 games this year. LSU will also probably be in a super regional. By the end of the year, they will pull it together. They just need to get over that mental hump. Great show. Thank you, Eric. I agree. I agree that they could. I mean, they do have – here's the crazy thing. You know that you have talented dudes, right? Like, you know you have talented guys. You may place tonight that are next level talented stuff. The issue that continues to remain, all right, is that you're just not able to get over that hump. And when will you? And here's the question: how many of these games do you have to be in before you do it? It does feel like. Let me I'll say this, and this is at 11 o'clock on March 29th. Let me write this down. 11 p.m. on March 29th. Guys, it's only a matter of time before you get in some of these tight game situations. Since you were in one against Florida last week, multiples against Florida last week, you were in 2 close games against Arkansas this week. It's only a matter of time before you start getting over the hump and winning some of your own. The schedule is not as brutal down the stretch, and you're just going to have to really win all of those games. You're going to have to get rolling and get hot. You got a long way to go, and let's see if you can do it. Yes, I did. Whoever, Gina, we blocked them. I appreciate them sending in a super chat. That's just not it's uncalled for. I mean, I could take a picture of it. Guys, how many do we have in here? He said we have 795. I'll take a picture of it. Hold on. For these petty motherfuckers. I hate fucking trolls. Thank you for the super chat, though. I do appreciate it, but Come on, man. Come on. John Sibley Butler with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, John Sibley Butler. He says, Blake, do you think the Tigers' slump is at the start of the season rather the middle of the end? I mean, I'd rather the middle, okay? Basically due to if you saw a team like, let's say in the first 3 series of the SEC and you're destroying the baseball, you know that they have it. Okay, and you know that they're just as a team they're going through a slump. When you see them struggling earlier in the year, the question becomes, okay, well, can they ever get over that hump? At the end of the year, if you're slumping, then, well, you can have an early exit. I asked Vandy last year. Shit, I asked Auburn last year. There's so many teams that hosted regionals that got booted out of their own regional because they started slumping late. And, even though in the middle part they were hitting on all cylinders, it just came down to at the end of it, they were unable to overcome. And it's unfortunate. So probably middle. If I had to choose. A McNabb 23 with a $199 super chat says, what do you think the main problem is right now? Inexperience. And there's nothing you can do about it. Lack of talent in some areas. Not ready. And I think it more than that, McNabb, I think that it is it's a microcosm of a lot of things that are happening to you. When you get a performance like that from Griffin Herring, you got to be able to deliver. Griffin Herring gave you all the ability to win that game. You should have won the game. You should have won the baseball game. But when you're unable to put runs up and guys, they scored 3 runs, you tie it, and they got locked down. We did too. And good on them. Good on Arkansas. Look, that's a really good team. It's a really, really good team. It's an Omaha 8 team. Number 1 team in the country. But I will tell you, now so if I'm wrong on this, but I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I don't think Jay Johnson has ever won a series against Arkansas. I'm pretty sure he didn't win. Maybe he did. Maybe they did win last year, didn't they? Maybe they won the last 2. Right? Didn't they win the last 2? Yeah, Jay. I think they might have won the last 2. That might be on me. Yeah, they won the last 2 last year because they wasn't it the Hagen Smith game on Friday night. Yeah. So Arkansas is taking 2 of the last 3 from you. I mean, arguably, I guess you could say that they tied it on you because they beat you in the SEC tournament. Yeah, you did win the last 2. I forgot about that. But to this point, I just think it's inexperience, lack of talent in area. Dale on YouTube says, let's talk freshmen with a $999 super chat. He says, Jay must see something in Larson. I rather Brown. What do you say? Well, I don't. Thank you. First off, thank you, McNabb, John Sibley Butler, Eric, and Dale for the super chats. I greatly do appreciate it. Brown pulled his hamstring. What was it, guys, against Southeastern? Or I forget the game that he pulled his hamstring in. But he pulled his hamstring, and I don't know his necessarily availability. I saw him with a helmet and bat in the dugout, so maybe he's available for just maybe to pitch hit. Maybe he's not ready for to be out there defensively. I don't mind Larson. I mean, Larson if I'm not mistaken, got a big hit last night or had a big walk last night. Milam hit the double. He's got the RBI to tie it for you. So you're down 3-2, and Larson's the one, a freshman that's hitting in the sac fly RBI. But I'll be real with you. That part right there probably lost you the game. Having the bases loaded and no outs lost you the game, in my opinion. When Jake Brown gets fully healthy, I 1,000% start him over Kling. But here's another thing. Brown has not seen significant or has not had significant at-bats at the plate in the SEC. We don't know how he's going to respond. We have no idea how he'll respond. So it's just tough, man. It's really tough. Brian Tanya on YouTube with a $5 super chat says Arkansas's batting average is 248. When they get in the playoffs, they choke. I did not know that their batting average was 248. That's not good enough. But that's the point. But you know what? I would love to know what their ERA is, so it doesn't relatively matter. They got arms all over the place. Guys, by the way, their Sunday starter has an ERA in 5 starts this year. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a 1.26, 1.27. You got a guy going tomorrow for Arkansas that's just as good as Molina was. And I don't think that you did bad versus Molina. And here's what sucks. Here's what ultimately sucks for me. Okay? I don't necessarily think that you are as far off baseball-wise as we think that we are. The losing and the continuous losing makes it snowball to where it feels worse, which it is bad. I'm not saying it's not. But, again, you had last weekend your strikeout away, a bad bounce of a ball last week from taking that series versus Florida. You're in a 1-run game. You go into extras to tie this one, to tie this series against Arkansas. So that's the thing that stings the most, right? Because if you take this series last week against Florida, if you are able to find a way to scratch out one more run in regulation, when I say regulation, and through 9 innings, you're probably going to win that game. And it is what it is. But you had multitudes of times through 9 innings that you had the ability to try to score a run and you couldn't do it. You're not consistent enough. You don't have enough experience. And that I said this last night, got a little bit of pushback for whatever reason, but sometimes experience trumps talent because guys, if you had a Cade Beloso, if you had a Gavin Dugas, a Braden Joubert, those guys would find a way to get that run. They would find a way to get that run. That's the part that hurts the most. Now, last night, I told you this was my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay? And uh-oh. What happened? Oh. Here was my thought process from last night. You don't have to agree with me. It's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. If you're going to get a win in this series, it was going to be tonight. We talked about that last night. Guys, I don't think you can get a win tomorrow. I just don't. Again, unless this is how it's going to have to happen. Unless everything that we've seen from you this year completely vanishes and you're able to do what you need to do and take care of business when you have runners, bases loaded and no outs and you get more than one run, or you play a little small ball and etch another run. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to find a way to do it because you're on the edge of being swept. You're on the edge of being swept. I will promise you this, though. Jay will not stand for it. And no matter how bad it gets, He will portal his ass off. I'm telling you, he will overhaul the roster. Know it. Not guessing. You may see some guys hit the portal that you never thought that would hit the portal. Big MIL, Big Mill, says Tiger going to shove tomorrow. I think he is. Eric says the Arkansas starter can't have a bad night. It does happen. Yeah, it does. But again, we've had multitudes of bad days. We have not had, and look, Eric, here's my line of thinking. Okay, here's my line of thinking about the Sunday. Okay, my line of thinking about the Sunday game was the last two times I've seen you in a Sunday game, you've shit the bed. You shit the bed on against Mississippi State 2 weeks ago. You shit the bed against Florida last week. And I think that you're done. Now you got Gage Jump going in game 3. Maybe that's a difference. But, man, would it be nice to get a win and get a game out of here. Get a game, regroup, get home, play Vandy. Not as good as a team as any of the 3 that you just saw, in my opinion. And you try to win the series. Excuse me. Does LSU get run ruled for 3 straight Sundays? I don't know. George Hancock says Arkansas put on a clinic in pitching, but he emphasizes clinic. Absolute clinic. Tanks and Travinsky were outdone by freshman closers tonight. It's true. It's true. Very true. Kyron Mott says, does LSU get run ruled 3 straight Sundays? We read that. Stephen Young says, a sweep means we aren't hosting a regional. Mark my words. I don't know if you're hosting a regional now. It's a long way to go. I don't know if you're hosting a regional now. A. McNabb, 23, with a $199 super chat. Thank you again, sir. Says, what do you think the ceiling is for this team right now? If I had to put a ceiling on this team at this exact moment, I would say you go to a regional, probably out west. I think you can win it because I don't think anybody out west is better than you. And then you go to somewhere in the SEC in a super regional and you lose. That's what I ultimately think this team is going to be. I think you'll probably be 13-17, somewhere around there in conference. If things continue the way that they are going, I don't think you get to 17 wins. And again, guys, listen to me. I hope that I'm dead wrong. I'm begging to be dead wrong. I'm praying that I'm dead wrong. I think the best that you can do right now is get sub 500 in the league, 15-15. Then maybe if you make a run in the tournament, I don't know. But you're not hosting right now. In my opinion, here's my thing. I don't even think this team, this coaching staff, and this fan base needs to be worried about hosting. What I think we need to be worried about is winning a game in the SEC right now, to be real with you. The ceiling that I think is you go to a regional. I think you'll make a regional. You're going to be in the postseason. And you go somewhere, you have the ability to win it. Feels a lot like maybe Arkansas. The Maneris last year. You're 13-17. You squeak in, go to Oregon, win it. You go to Tennessee, get your shit blasted in. That's what it feels like. That's what I think right now. I think that that's subject to change. I think that we can change that, or my opinion can change that if they start getting better in areas. But you can't. You're going to have to really start winning and picking it up post-Easter, which is Sunday. You're really going to have to start picking it up a little bit. Got to win tomorrow. Because look, let me make sure I'm thinking about this right. Yeah, you're 2-6 in the league. Guys, if you get swept tomorrow and you're 2-7 in the league, it's not good. It's not good. We have seen teams in the past, though. I mean, LSU got ruled by one last year in Auburn, who post-Easter made a run and then hosted a regional and then got beat out in their own regional. But that's where I ultimately think that they're good friend Stephen Fry over at Fry Construction in Eunice, Louisiana, quotes me and saying, "Get your shit blasted in," quote unquote, Blake Ruffino. It's true. You're going to get your shit blasted in. You're probably, if you win a regional, you're going to go to an SEC team somewhere, watch it be like Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, who knows? You're going to get your shit blasted in. You're not good enough. Not right now, you're not. Again, subject to change. 1,000% is subject to change. I just don't think you're good enough. I pray that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. LSU fan says, I think we play Auburn after Mizzou. Gotta at least go 5-1 in that stretch. Yeah, you need a sweet Mizzou, and you got to take 2 or 3 from Auburn. That's right, LSU fan. You got to. You have to. But that's difficult in and of itself as well. Rolo on YouTube says, how does Jay fix this? Not this year, I guess. I don't know. And Brandon Graziano asked the same question. How do we turn it around? I don't know. I don't know. My opinion would be take out Kling, put in Larson against righties. I don't know. I don't see a light at I don't know what he can do. I legitimately don't. Because, well, let me back up. If this were me, every fastball that comes up to the plate, I'm hacking at it right now. You know, last year's team was so good at taking pitches. So good at, you know, if the ball was 2 inches off the plate and it was off speed, they ain't biting at that shit. You're gonna need to get young guys reps. Milam needs reps. I do even think that, you know, even Jones needs reps. Larson, Brown needs reps. But the guys that are doing the most or the best at the current moment, ironically, is the guys with experience. Eric says, I bet you Jay Johnson's blood pressure is like 200 over 200 right now. I bet you it is. I bet you it is. Jonathan Power says Jay needs to stop with the gorilla ball approach. I think Jay Johnson's approach right now is just to find a way to win. They ain't biting at that shit. Not so nonchalant. Yeah, if you stay here long enough, I'll probably say something that's pause worthy that I don't pause myself on. Carter the Power Bryant, the good man, he'll be joining us on Monday, says we shall overcome. I hope so. I really, really, really do hope so. McNabb says, well, to start Kling needs to be benched for either Larson or Brown. I agree with that. Here come the Hogs. 24 Keeling says Woo Pig Suey. So does William Winnington. Yeah, I say some things that are pause worthy. 100% say things that are pause worthy. And don't catch myself.
Congratulations to the Arkansas faithful. At least you have one team on your campus that's worth a fuck, because you ain't worth a fuck anywhere else. Nowhere else. Arkansas people are the only people that look like their mascot. Every time I see somebody from Arkansas, I feel like I'm looking at the human version of an actual hog. Besides our good friend Ty Richardson. Every one of them. Every one of them. I have never seen a fan base look so much like their mascot before. It's incredibly insane. I've never seen, and they snort the same. They probably have sex with their wives the same. They probably have piglets the same. You know what would be the funniest shit? I'm really waiting for an Arkansas fan for them to tell me that their name is Chris Bacon and that their middle initial is P. Chris P. Bacon. It's incredible to me. Some of them even got the tusks. So, when hogs, I don't know if a lot of you hunt, but let me just tell you, wild hogs, razorbacks, when the female hog has piglets, when the female hog has piglets, her nipples drop, her titties drop. I've seen a lot of Arkansas women fans that's got them saggy titties. Just like what a female hog does after she gives birth. Them things sag, and so does a lot of Arkansas women's titties sag. It's incredible. I've never seen a titty sag. I've never seen titties so lopsided in my life. I mean, it's just the truth. If you've ever seen a female hog give birth, them titties sag. It's incredible. Oh, 87 Oak says, dang, that's a lot of talk after 0-2 at the bomb. Love seeing LSU fans worked up. How am I worked up? First off, how am I worked up? I said that as calmly as possible. Okay, we're 0-2, but it's funny. How many national titles do y'all have? By the way, you know who else has titties? Sam Pittman's got titties too. I've never seen a head coach. I ain't never seen a head coach look like its damn mascot. Arkansas fans, I get you won tonight. Your baseball team is really good. Congratulations. You won the series. You got a really good baseball team. You won't win a natty because you'll choke like your name's Mia Khalifa. Gag order like your name's Mia Khalifa. If you don't, Hog fans, I know that you probably look at Cousins, vagina.org, or you probably go to farmersonly.com. 99% of farmers only investments are in the state of Arkansas. Let them hang. Let them hang, man. Let them titties hang. You gotta let the titties hang. But don't come up in here when historically Arkansas fans, your program to some extent outside of baseball is pretty much irrelevant. Sorry, Darren McFadden's not there anymore. Ooh. You know what Arkansas? You know what the Woo Pig Sugi reminds me of every time? Can I tell you what it reminds me of?
It reminds me of a 13 or 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kid going up on a roller coaster. Ooh. And when they go down, it's like when the roller coaster goes, pig suey. Yeah, man. Harvey says LSY. I don't know what that means. Candace Martin says LS what? I mean, Arkansas fans, come on now. Hey, who is the still technically reigning defending national champion? The last time that you were actually in that spot, you missed a fly ball down the first base line. There are teams like and programs like LSU, and there are programs like Arkansas. There's a reason that we have the intimidator in right field. There's a reason that you're intimidated by everything that we do. You have more of a rivalry with us than we have a rivalry with you. We don't necessarily see you as our rival, mainly due to the fact that you're irrelevant. If you want me to pull off the Band-Aid, that's the truth. And some of y'all are so crazy that y'all wanted KJ Jefferson to leave. All right, a couple more. Candace says, are we talking baseball or talking football? Yes, we are not a powerhouse football program. It's reality. That's what we were kind of talking about. But don't come up in here when LSU just won a national title in baseball last year, and over the last, 30 years, has more title appearances than you have regional hosts. You need to calm down. You need to calm down, Candace. I appreciate you commenting. I'm just joking. Just joking. I'm saying this in a very calm manner. Dylan Holly. What's up, Dylan? Says the pig wooed for the final time. Pig suey. Oh, man. Harvell. Harv. We're going to call him Harv. It says, Hog fan here. I just subscribed because of your roast. Thank you, man. It's all in good fun. Really great in all reality, in all fairness, and just not joking around. You have a really good baseball team, man. Really damn good baseball team. Your stadium is elite. Your fan base is elite when it comes to baseball. Your coach is really good. Hopefully, one day he can get over the hump for himself and that he can win a national title. You're a really good team. We will see you guys tomorrow and hope that we win. But look, man, you're really good. And that is in all seriousness. No joking around. They're really good. And they took it to us tonight when it mattered most. And LSU was unable to overcome. So, yeah. Your boy says, put that hog in the cage with Mike. You want to talk about an absolute clapping? God, dog. I don't know, man, but maybe that hog is like Pumbaa from Lion King. You got to be careful with hogs, man. They're feisty. They're feisty, man. Even if they got saggy titties. Lucas Abear, what's up, man? Says, sends a $5 super chat. Says, Arkansas sucks. I'm LSU fan for life. Suck that Tiger DB. All right. Thank you, Lucas, for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. All right. I hope all of you have had a great Good Friday. I hope all of you have a very good Easter. I don't know if we'll see you tomorrow. But I pray to God you get one. You got to get one. Got to find a way. Until then, for Blake Ruffino, for the interns, for everybody, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Peace out, Girl Scouts.